Yes, my dear friends, welcome back to the channel. Very good day to you guys all out there, wherever you are on the globe, on the continent of Africa, in Europe, in America, in Canada, Australia, or right in Southeast Asia. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel, Salon's Blog. It is Tuesday, and hey guys, a lot is happening right now. The Premier League games coming up quick, thick and thin. Between now and Christmas, like I told you guys yesterday, 8 games. Chelsea is going to be playing between now and 30th December. 8 games in this December alone for Chelsea. Both the Premier League and the Champions League. Premier League, FA Cup, EFL Cup, and Champions League, they are all coming up. Thick and thin. Every 2-3 days, there are games to be played. Ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow, Chelsea are taking on Leeds United. But before we go into that, Thiago Silva's son is Sago. Yes, Thiago Silva's son, who have been with Chelsea for the past 2 seasons in a Chelsea Academy. He's been with Chelsea Academy for the past 2 years. Has signed his first professional contract with Chelsea. There he is. You can see him right there on the screen. He has signed his first professional contract with Chelsea. Thiago Silva. How many years did Thiago Silva spend with Chelsea? Is it 2 or 3 years? And the guy seems to be like, as he's a legend due to what he has done, he has achieved within a short span that he stayed with Chelsea. Now his son has signed a professional contract with Chelsea. Ladies and gentlemen, you see, there is something about generational wealth that people don't seem to get it right. Generational wealth. That is something people don't talk much about. It is not just about money. No. It's about access. Having the access to something that ordinarily you wouldn't have. Generational wealth. What your father achieved, the connections, the contact your father built, the name, your father's name. It's also generational wealth. Access. Mindset, yes, and exposure. Where has your father exposed you to? Which contacts did your father expose you to? These are all generational wealth. There is the environment that elevates your ceiling. Your ceiling. There's an environment that elevates your ceiling. Before you even take your first step, I have seen many people, many footballers, like Dede Ayew, Jordan Ayew, Andre Ayew. Their father is a legend in Africa, in Ghana, Betty Pele. And the boys they took after his footsteps, they all play football. What others will struggle to achieve or to enter, the team that they will struggle to enter, Marseille, they've all played through Marseille. Their father was a legend in Marseille. Thiago Silva's son is another example, and many others you can count. This is not just our football, in other areas of life as well. Ladies and gentlemen, you see, and here it is, Isago's case. He's going to walk through the door his father spent 20 years building. Things don't just happen. What future are you building for your children? You see, first and foremost, you must be determined yourself. You must have the ability and the talent, because even if your father leaves the doors open for you, you don't have the ability to walk through it properly. You can mess it up. Am I giving motivational speech this morning? Ladies and gentlemen, now let's move on. Enzo Maresca in training with the players, as you can see them yesterday. They had a light training. It was more like talks, tactical talk and physio work yesterday. As you can see them right there. And hey guys, you can also see Cole Palmer right there training with the squad. That was just yesterday evening. After the decisive game they played against Arsenal on Sunday evening. There they are. They've trained yesterday. And you can see Maresca talking. A lot of talks ongoing. This time around, it's not about physical work any longer, because they are already exhausted with a lot of physical work. So they need much talk, tactical talk. That is what you can see them, including Cole Palmer, also right there on your screen. Ladies and gentlemen. Now, before I continue, the latest news I want to break on Nicolas Jackson. Nicolas Jackson will not play for Chelsea again, according to Fabrizio Romano. Yeah, I know most of you, even in the studio, they started celebrating. The story is over for several reasons. And it was a mutual decision between all parties. Several clubs are already attentive to the situation if Bayern do not decide to buy him permanently. So, unless something else changes, otherwise, Jackson's career with Chelsea is almost over, according to Fabrizio Romano. Things can still change though, but as it is right now, according to Fabrizio Romano, it is almost over with Jackson returning to Chelsea. Now, on some other news, remember tomorrow is our game. Tonight, Man City are playing their game. I mean, about 4 or 5 games coming up tonight. Before tomorrow, Chelsea will be playing. But look, whilst we are preparing, Enzo Fernandez has been speaking, and he said something that struck my mind. Enzo Fernandez, speaking about title contenders, whether Chelsea are in the title race or not, this is what he said. He said, of course, we are title contenders this season. There are many contenders, Liverpool, Manchester City, Manchester United. All the teams are battling towards the top. There are some very strong Premier League sides. Arsenal have also been doing really well for many years. And Liverpool are a great side. I am not going to choose one because they are all good. And we know the Champions League is very tough. We will try to reach the final. You see? They will try to reach the final of the Champions League. This mentality is what I love most. We will try to reach the final, which is what we deserve as a club. We've been doing well, so we are capable of being right up there. The mentality of this guy. And so, you know, this guy won World Cup with Argentina. He has tasted it at the highest level of football. To win the World Cup, he's tasting it at the, not just that, he won the World Cup and he also won the Club World Cup. So he knows what it means to win the league. I mean, big trophies, huge trophies. Now he wants to win the Champions League. Ladies and gentlemen, that is a mentality. This has been Chelsea's mentality all this while until recently. And thank God that these players, they are beginning to, you know, to have the mentality that winning is all we want in Chelsea. We don't care how it's been won. We don't care how you win it. Beautifully or uglily, we don't care. A win is a win, that's all. That is all we want in Chelsea. And I'm happy this guy have that mentality. And he's our deputy captain. Yes, Reece James. He is more vocal on the pitch than Reece James. He's more vocal. Reece James prefers to speak by his work ethics, with his work rate. But Fernandez, he will work hard and he will speak loud. Ladies and gentlemen, I love this about it. I like this about it. You see, Chelsea have shown Arsenal far too many levels in the game we played. Chelsea, we've shown Arsenal too many levels when we met them last Sunday. We've shown them that there are levels of football in different ways. Chelsea won every duel, every single duels, defended every corner, every corner that comes in. Chelsea defended every corner brilliantly. Yes. And then we scored against Arsenal from the very first corner we got. The very first corner Chelsea had, we used it to score against them in the game. Remember, Arsenal are the experts in set piece. So for Chelsea to be able to defend their corner and our own first corner, we use it to score against them. It's another level altogether. This happened even when we were down to 10 men. Not when it was 11-11. When Chelsea was down to 10 men. Whenever Chelsea had the ball, our build-up play looked better than, let me say, when Arsenal has the ball with 11 men. Our build-up play, when we have the ball, it looks much more better than when Arsenal have the ball with 11 men. So these are all levels that we've shown Arsenal. Listen, tactically, we were superior over Arsenal in the game. We were superior. after we gotten the red card and we were down to 10 men, Chelsea was superior to Arsenal. From defense to the midfield to attack, we were superior. Unfortunately for us, we got a red card and Maresca had to do tactical changes by bringing Garnacho and taking away Estaval. Because Garnacho can defend far better than Estaval. We needed to find a way of balancing the squad. If Estaval was to be in the game to the end, oh my God, Arsenal would have collected at least 3. Let me tell you something. You see, in the Premier League, you can literally go from Champions League football to no European football at all in a season. You can win a Champions League this season. Next season, you are likely not to play in the Champions League because you can easily fall from 1st to 10th on the league table. Just look at Liverpool. That is the league table right now. Look at where Liverpool is right now on the league table. That tells you that in the Premier League, you don't joke. Every single game counts. And I'm happy Maresca has learned his lessons. If you look at the kind of changes he made against Man United when Chelsea was a man down, he made a panic change. He panicked and he rushed in making changes. This time around, when Caicedo got a red card, Maresca didn't rush in making changes. He waited. He was relaxed. He studied the game. He watched carefully. He monitored every single player. Tactically, he made a decision before we went to the half-time break. Then coming back, that was when the changes were made. That means that Maresca himself has learned a lot. No more panic changes to make errors. And you see, I agree when Enzo Fernandez says that we are in the title race. And that is what I've been saying. I've been saying this all this while. But we need to be careful at the same time because look at Liverpool. They have 21 points. And between them and Man City, how many points difference? Only 4-point difference. Man City are third and they have 25. Man City are second with 25 points. Chelsea are third with 24 points. So you can see the difference between 8th place team, which is Liverpool, and 2nd place team is only 4 points. It's only 4 points. But they are 8th, Liverpool. That should tell you that last season they won the league, but this season, look at where they are. This is why you have to be extremely careful. Now, tonight's game, Bournemouth will take on Everton. Bournemouth will take on Everton. And early match, 7:30. Wow. Oh, 7, yeah. That's 1:30 p.m. UK. Fulham will take on Man City. Newcastle will take on Spurs. Wow, that game is what I would love to watch. 8:15. I would love to watch that. Then tomorrow, Arsenal will take on Brentford. Brighton against Aston Villa. Burnley, Crystal Palace, Wolves, Nottingham Forest, Leeds United, Chelsea. Liverpool, Sunderland. Man United play on Wednesday, right? Thursday, 4th December against West Ham. Ladies and gentlemen, those are the games coming up this midweek. Premier League action starting from tonight. Well, FIFA have informed clubs that they will be able to retain their players that have been selected for AFCON, Africa Cup of Nations, until December 15th. So, clubs in Europe that have African players that are expected to arrive in Africa for their training for the AFCON, their national teams, the clubs have the right to retain those players until 15th of December. Means that most of those players will have less than 2 weeks to train with their national team before the tournament begins in January. Ladies and gentlemen, so we know Chelsea, we don't have any player going for AFCON, do we? I don't think so. But I think Manchester United and Mbeumo, Mbwemu is going for AFCON. Now, quick update again on AFCON. Cameroon has dropped big name players from their AFCON squad. Cameroon have dropped big name players. One or two notable ones are Andre Onana. Andre Onana, the goalkeeper, has been dropped from Cameroon squad. He's been created. The last time there was an AFCON, he created massive problem for the squad. Andre Onana has been dropped from the AFCON squad by Cameroon. Vincent Abubakar, Michael Ngadu, Jackson Tachua, and Martin Hongla have all been left out of the Cameroon squad for AFCON. These are big names. These are big names. On your screen now are the players listed. I cannot, because of time, I cannot go through the names. You can check them by yourself. So big names Cameroon dropped from their AFCON squad. Ladies and gentlemen, now let me conclude by saying this about Chelsea. Chelsea faces Leeds United tomorrow. And I don't want Chelsea fans to underrate Leeds. There's a big rivalry between the two for many years. For those of you who are not aware, this is a big game for Chelsea. And fans must get it right. Fans must get it right because Chelsea and Leeds don't get along very well. Chelsea and Leeds United don't get along very well. It's a history. There's a history between the two. The rivalry that stretches back to the 70s. Elland Road will be rocking. Chelsea will have to be careful. I'm just sending a caution to Chelsea fans out there. Maresca will be speaking later today on the squad availability. And I will come back with more exclusives. Ladies and gentlemen, Arsenal had 6 players booked by referee Anthony, with 3 cautions coming in the first 30 minutes alone against Chelsea. Because of this, the club will face £25,000 fine under the FA's rules for accumulating 6 or more yellow cards in one game. It's not the first time Arsenal have faced this. They were fined the same amount back in February 2024 after their match against Liverpool. But you see, this tells you that Arsenal was nowhere near Chelsea's ability. They had no choice than to be committing fouls. Unfortunately, it is Chelsea that received a red card. Arsenal's players would have received a red card. I was waiting to see the second yellow that will result in a yellow card red card for an Arsenal player. Unfortunately, referee Anthony, as usual, especially that elbowing of Chaloba's face, that is a red card. That is a red. But referee Anthony, you always do it against Chelsea. Ladies and gentlemen, well, let me just end it here. I'll be back and I'll see. Do I have more? Yeah, I think that's the end for now. I'll be back and I'll see you guys on the next one. When you see me, shalom and peace.